and welcome to another episode of English Podcast. I'm Emma, joining you from London. It's a chilly morning here, but I'm really excited to be here with you.
Hey there, listeners. I'm James, tuning in from Toronto. It's early here too, but I've got my coffee and I'm ready for a great chat. Thanks for joining us on English Podcast.
We're so glad you're here. If you're new to the channel, English Podcast is all about helping you improve your English by listening to real, natural conversations. We talk about everyday topics, share stories, and just have a good time together.
That's right. Whether you're learning English for work, travel, or just for fun, this podcast is for you. We keep things simple, friendly, and real, so you can pick up useful phrases and expressions as you listen.
So let's talk a bit about how this podcast works. We're not here to teach grammar or give you a list of vocabulary. Instead, we have casual conversations about real-life topics like childhood memories, school days, family, and personal growth.
You'll hear the kind of English people actually use every day.
Exactly. We want you to feel like you're sitting with friends, just chatting about life. You'll hear natural expressions, little jokes, and even some stories that might make you laugh or think.
And if you're wondering how to introduce yourself in English, we'll show you some easy, natural ways to do that today.
Introducing yourself doesn't have to be complicated. You can simply say, "Hi, I'm Emma. I live in London. I love reading and spending time with my family." That's it. Just keep it friendly and relaxed.
Yeah, and you can add a little detail if you want, like, I'm James from Toronto. I'm a big fan of hiking and I work in education. It's all about sharing a bit about yourself in a way that feels comfortable.
And if you're meeting someone new, you can ask, "What's your name?" or "Where are you from?" Simple questions like these help start a conversation.
Absolutely. And don't worry about making mistakes. The most important thing is to keep talking and enjoy the process. We all learn by doing, right?
Before we jump into our personal stories, we'd love for you to subscribe to English Podcast if you haven't already. It's the best way to stay up to date with new episodes.
And if you're enjoying the show, give us a like or leave a comment. We really appreciate hearing from you. Your stories, your questions, or just a quick hello. It makes our day.
Yeah, don't be shy. Tell us where you're listening from or share a little about yourself. We love reading your messages and learning about your journeys with English.
And if you have a topic you'd like us to talk about, let us know. We're always open to new ideas and love making this podcast together with you.
All right, let's get into it. I'll start by telling you a bit about myself. So, as I mentioned, I'm Emma and I live in London, England. I grew up in a small town just outside the city, so my childhood was a mix of city adventures and countryside walks.
That sounds lovely. Did you spend a lot of time outdoors as a kid?
Oh, definitely. My parents loved taking my brother and I to the park or out for long walks. I remember climbing trees, playing hide and seek, and sometimes just lying in the grass watching the clouds. It was simple, but those are some of my favorite memories.
I can relate to that. There's something special about those little moments.
For sure. School was a big part of my life, too. I went to a local primary school, and I was always the kid who loved reading. I'd spend hours with my nose in a book, sometimes even hiding under the covers with a flashlight when I was supposed to be asleep.
That's classic. Did you have a favorite subject?
English, of course. I loved stories and writing, but I also enjoyed art and music. I wasn't the best at math, to be honest. I remember struggling with fractions and times tables, but my teachers were patient and I learned to ask for help when I needed it.
That's good to hear you found support. How about university?
I went to university in London studying literature. It was a big change, moving from a small town to a huge city. At first, I felt a bit lost, but I quickly made friends and found my way. University taught me a lot, not just about books, but about independence and meeting people from all over the world.
Did you live with your family during university or did you move out?
I moved into a shared student dorm. It was noisy, sometimes messy, but also a lot of fun. I learned to cook for myself, well, sort of. My pasta was always a bit overcooked, but we had a good time sharing meals and stories.
Sounds like a great experience. What's your family like?
My family is pretty close. I have one younger brother, and we get along well, most of the time. My parents are supportive and always encouraged me to try new things. We have a tradition of Sunday dinners together, which I really cherish.
That's wonderful. Did you find it easy to meet new people growing up?
Honestly, I was a bit shy as a child. Making friends didn't come naturally at first, but over time I learned to open up and just say hello. I realized that most people are friendly and happy to chat if you make the first move.
That's a great lesson. Sometimes you just have to take that first step.
Exactly. I've learned that personal growth often comes from stepping out of your comfort zone, whether it's speaking up in class, trying a new hobby, or moving to a new city. Those moments help you grow. I've made mistakes, of course, but I try to see them as learning opportunities.
That's a really positive way to look at things.
Thanks, James. I think the most important lesson I've learned is to be kind to myself. It's easy to be hard on yourself when things don't go perfectly, but everyone is learning all the time.
All right, my turn. So I'm James, and I live in Toronto, Canada. I grew up here, in a neighborhood not far from the city center. My childhood was pretty active. I was always outside, playing hockey in the winter and soccer in the summer.
Hockey, that's very Canadian.
You know it. I wasn't the best player, but I loved being part of a team. My friends and I would build snow forts, have snowball fights, and sometimes just hang out at the local rink. Winters here are cold, but we made the most of it.
Did you have any favorite childhood memories?
One that stands out is going camping with my family. We'd pack up the car and drive out to the lakes. I remember sitting around the campfire, roasting marshmallows and telling stories. Sometimes the raccoons would try to steal our food, which was always a bit of an adventure.
That sounds fun and maybe a little scary.
A little bit, yeah. School was a big part of my life, too. I went to a public school, and I was pretty social. I liked science and history, but math was a challenge for me. I had a great teacher who made learning fun, though. She'd use games and experiments to help us understand things.
It's amazing how much difference a good teacher can make.
Absolutely. After high school, I went to university here in Toronto. I studied education because I wanted to help others learn and grow. University was a big step. I met people from all over the world, and it really opened my eyes to different cultures and ideas.
Did you live with your family during university?
For the first year, yes. Then I moved into a shared apartment with some friends. It was a bit chaotic, lots of late-night study sessions and pizza deliveries, but it taught me a lot about responsibility and teamwork.
How about your family background?
My family's pretty big. I have 2 sisters, and we're all close. My parents are supportive and always encouraged us to try new things. We have a tradition of Sunday brunch where everyone brings something to share. It's noisy, but I wouldn't trade it for anything.
That's great. Did you find it easy to meet new people?
Honestly, I was lucky. I've always been pretty outgoing. But I know it's not easy for everyone. I think the key is to be open and curious. Ask questions, listen, and don't be afraid to share a bit about yourself. People appreciate honesty and kindness.
That's great advice.
Thanks. For me, personal growth has come from trying new things and learning from mistakes. I've had moments where I felt unsure or nervous, like starting a new job or moving to a new place, but each time I learned something valuable. I think it's important to keep moving forward even when things feel tough.
I agree. Life is all about learning and growing.
Exactly. And sometimes the best lessons come from the hardest experiences. I've learned to be patient, to listen, and to support others. And I try to remember that everyone is on their own journey.
You know, James, listening to your story reminds me of my own childhood. It's funny how some things are so different, like hockey and camping in Canada, but some things are the same everywhere, like family dinners and making friends.
Absolutely. I think that's one of the best parts of talking to people from different places. You realize that even though our lives are unique, we share a lot of the same experiences.
And it's those little everyday moments, like sharing a meal or going for a walk, that really stick with you.
Definitely. And when you're learning English, it's those everyday expressions and stories that help you connect with others.
Speaking of expressions, I noticed you said hang out and make the most of it. Those are great phrases for our listeners to pick up.
Yeah, and you mentioned nose in a book and stepping out of your comfort zone. Those are really useful too.
We use these kinds of phrases all the time in English. They make your speech sound more natural and friendly.
And if you're ever unsure, just ask. People are usually happy to explain or help out.
Let's share a few more everyday expressions that we use all the time. For example, if you want to show interest, you can say, "Really?" or "That's interesting." If you want to agree, you might say, "Absolutely," or "I couldn't agree more."
And if you're not sure about something, you can say, I'm not sure, or I'll have to think about it. If you want to end a conversation politely, you can say, "It was nice talking to you," or "Catch you later."
If you make a mistake, just say, "Sorry about that," or "My bad." People appreciate honesty and a friendly attitude.
And if you want to ask someone for help, you can say, "Could you help me with this?" or "Do you have a minute?" Simple, natural phrases like these make conversations easier.
Exactly. The more you use these expressions, the more confident you'll feel.
Cultural and regional details. Emma, I have to ask, what's your favorite thing about living in London?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I love the parks and the old buildings. There's always something happening: music, art, food festivals, and of course, the classic English tea.
Sounds wonderful. In Toronto, we have a mix of cultures and foods. You can find everything from sushi to Jamaican patties. And the city is full of green spaces, even in the middle of downtown.
I'd love to visit Toronto one day. It sounds like a great place to explore.
You'd be welcome anytime. And if you come in winter, bring a warm coat.
Noted. And if you visit London, I'll show you the best spots for afternoon tea.
Personal growth and life lessons. James, what's one life lesson you've learned that you'd like to share with our listeners? I think the biggest lesson is to keep going even when things are tough. There were times in my life when I felt stuck or unsure, but I learned that if you take small steps and ask for help when you need it, things get better.
That's really good advice. For me, I've learned that it's okay to make mistakes. Nobody's perfect, and every mistake is a chance to learn something new.
Absolutely. And don't be afraid to try new things. Whether it's learning a language, starting a new job, or moving to a new city, every experience helps you grow.
And remember to be kind to yourself. Learning takes time, and it's okay to go at your own pace.
Well said, Emma. Closing and sign-off phrases.
Well, that's all for today's episode. We hope you enjoyed listening and picked up some useful expressions along the way.
Thanks for spending time with us. If you liked this episode, don't forget to subscribe, give us a like, or leave a comment. We love hearing from you.
And remember, every conversation is a chance to learn and grow. So keep practicing, keep smiling, and keep moving forward.
We'll be back soon with more stories and natural English conversations. Until then, take care and have a great day.
Bye for now.
See you next time.